Hi, afternoon. My name is Adele Fowler. I am a soft tissue therapist. So what actually is that? A soft tissue therapist, I specialise in all the soft tissue of the body, so all the muscles, and I specialise in sports and deep tissue massage. So today I want to do a really quick demo to demonstrate a really good stretch, particularly if you sit down a lot in your, perhaps in your job or just day to day. What I would say, generally, we sit down too much. We're not designed to sit down. We're supposed to be like hunter-gatherers. We should be out there, moving around, standing, walking, moving, and we don't. We sit down, we hunch over our phones, we hunch over our laptops, we drive, we just sit down too much, and we've just made our, like, it's just a society thing that we just sit down all the time. So I'm going to focus on one muscle in particular, which is a really good stretch, particularly if you're sat down a lot, which can ultimately cause a bit of tightness through the hips, but it can also affect lower back pain, which is probably one of the most common kind of injuries or pain that I get in my clinic. And also I'll focus a little bit on the hip flexors. So basically, just to go into it, the first muscle I'm going to tell you about is your piriformis muscle. Now, your piriformis muscle runs, so hopefully you'll be able to see this. It runs from your sacrum, so about here, and it runs through to the top of your femur, so your thigh bone. It attaches in there, and when you're sat down, so say kind of in this position, it's always in a shortened position, so very rarely does it get lengthened, and because of where it starts from your lower back, it can contribute to lower back pain. Now, this stretch is going to focus on that one, but it is going to work a little bit into your hip flexors. So your hip flexors, I'm going to be focusing on your iliacus. So if you think of a skeleton and where your kind of pelvis is, you've got that kind of sort of like a heart shape as it comes down. So your iliacus runs from the inside of your iliac crest, so that kind of area of your skeleton. So it runs from the inside and it runs through and attaches to the top of your leg. So that kind of is the hip area. And then you have your psoas, you've got psoas minor and major, and psoas major attaches actually from the base of your lumbar spine, so kind of a little bit up from where your sacrum is, so your lumbar spine is this area here. It attaches from there to the top of your leg. So as you can see, as I've explained about the muscles, because those muscles are kind of coming from your lower back hip area and attaching into your leg, with your leg always being in flexion like that, so always being a bit like how I'm sat now. These muscles are shortened at the moment, so when you're spending hours at a desk or you spend a lot of time driving, these muscles are kind of classically really, really short and tight. So we need to try and do some counterbalancing to try and just get some length through there. And as a result, it will take a lot of pressure off your lower back. So I want to demonstrate a piriformis stretch. Now, anyone who does yoga would be particularly familiar with this. This is going to be the pigeon pose that I show you, but it can be modified slightly. So you don't need to be like a yogi to do these. This is just a good thing to do. So I'm going to show you a few different ways of doing this and some slight modifications as well. So start off first. I haven't got a mat down, but my knees are quite good actually, so I don't really need one. But I would say if you are going into this, I would use a mat just to help your knees and just take any pressure off. But I'm just going to quickly demonstrate through. So what I want you to do is kind of put your hands down. Maybe I'll go sideways to start off with so you can see. So I want you to put your hands down, and then I want you to bring this knee up to the back of your wrist. So kind of lean forward, bring your knee up, and then I want you to sit down into, like, so your heel should be through here, and I want you to make sure you're squaring your hips off. So as you sit in this position, I automatically want to lean this way, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to make sure that you're sat as square as possible. Okay, so for some people this could be enough. Always check your back leg. Sometimes your back leg will do funny things and kind of point off at an angle. So make sure that it's straight behind, which mine is, and just kind of sit down into it. Now that could be intense enough for you. If you want a little bit more, you can slowly come down onto your forearms or go all the way down like that. But I would concentrate on holding this this stretch for a decent amount of time, and I make sure you're breathing into it. So I would hold it for about 45 seconds, and as you relax into it, that's when the magic happens. That's when the stretch works and your body adapts and gets used to that lengthening through that really tight area. So you can come down onto all fours like that, and if you want a little bit more, a good thing you can also do is slowly pad from side to side, just to get make it just a little bit more intense. So nothing major, but you can just get a sort of a twist through here and twist round that way. So that's quite good, and you can do that a few times as well, and this feels really good through my piriformis. But for some people, I'm quite lucky because with my job I'm not sat down all the time. I'm on my feet quite a bit, so I don't really suffer with sort of piriformis syndrome or something like that, like perhaps lorry drivers would do, or taxi drivers, or people who sit at their desk all day. So I hope you can see that. If having your leg out is too intense, you can do something a little bit different. So what you can do is, rather than having your legs straight out, you can have your back leg bent. So just to sort of show you this way, maybe I'll just swap my legs over just so I'm evenly stretched. So again, like, start off with your hands down, bring your knee to your elbow and bring it round, and then with this back leg you can have that one bent. So it's like, I always think of it as like that Isle of Man flag with the legs going round. So if that feels better for you, do it like that. So the same thing applies. So maybe not have your knee at like a right angle to the side, so you can see it on camera. Have your leg coming out like that. Don't have it too far back like that, because that's just too intense. So it's sort of 90 here, perhaps 90 here. It doesn't have to be 90. It's getting that sort of that stretch through that piriformis. And then again, same thing again, just lean down to it. Try and square off your hips as much as you can, and make sure they're kind of facing forwards as best you can. But again, same again, you can come down onto your forearms, you can put your head to the floor, you can pad round from side to side. But that's a really, really good stretch to get into your hips, and it also works through your hip flexors. So if you are suffering with any sort of tightness through the hips, any lower back pain or anything like that, then I would really recommend you like just spending a decent amount of time just stretching through your piriformis, stretching through your hip flexors. It's a good thing to do, just to counterbalance all the sitting that we do. We just do too much of it. So I hope you found that useful. I hope you can see what I'm doing okay. If you can, then give me some likes. Do share it with any of your friends that you know that are struggling with this particular issue, or maybe might need some advice at all. I do loads and loads of videos. I'm not precious about my knowledge. I like to share and just get it out there and give people as much information as possible. So give me some likes, give me some shares, let me know how you're getting on with it. Does the stretch work for you? And if you need any modifications or anything like that, then please let me know. But my name's Adele, I'm a soft tissue therapist. This is my clinic over in East Oxford. My clinic is called Optimum Body. And thank you for watching my video today. So I hope you have a good Friday. Take care. See you later. Bye.